Welcome back, Aluxers. We could go off on a rant about what a train wreck of a year it's been, but let's not, shall we? Partly because it's all being said so many times already, and besides, we think it's high time to start looking ahead at things to look forward to in 2021. So, let's get to it. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Number 1. Big steps forward for electric cars. 2020 was the year Tesla took over Toyota to become the world's highest valued car company, and it's not the only e-car company that's going places. For a while, we've been talking about China's NIO, whose share prices and sales have really been going places this year, and mainstream car manufacturers that are branching out into the electric car market as well. 2021 could be the year that sees e-cars fully break through. Just look at the number of models due to come out in 2021. The Audi e-tron GT, the BMW i4, the Mercedes EQS, the Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, the Jaguar XJ Electric, and offerings from Seat, Fiat, Renault, Dacia, Lotus, an electric Hummer, and of course the Tesla Cybertruck, and that's only naming a few. For sure, anyone hunting for e-cars later in the year is going to have a lot more to choose from than they do now, and 2021 could be the year all electric cars really put the electric revolution up a gear. Number 2. 5G. Forget the conspiracy theories. Yeah, like the ones about the piece of metal in your face masks being a secret 5G antenna. And yes, we know that 5G is already here, but 2021 promises to be the year it really takes off. Sales of 5G-equipped devices are set to double in 2021, and even if worldwide coverage slowed down in 2020 because of the pandemic, in 2021 it looks set to go full steam ahead. So how's it going to change things? 5G has the kind of high speeds and low latency that can really be game changers. We mean downloading a feature-length movie in just a few seconds, teleconferencing and gaming with no noticeable lag, better connectivity, and that's just the start. More data and faster speeds bring whole new possibilities for things like automated cars, automated flying taxis, AI, telemedicine, virtual and augmented reality, the Internet of Things, and smart cities, which means that the future really is 5G and it's on the way fast. Number 3. Space Internet. Specifically Elon Musk's Starlink. It's not the only space internet project in the cards, but it's the one we'll be hearing about the most this year. Starlink has spent a lot of 2020 sending internet satellites into orbit. For most of us, the only real result we've seen so far is complaints from astronomers who say it's been ruining their view of the night sky. But when it comes to internet coverage, there are signs things are beginning to move forward. Beta testing is already underway, and people who've used it have had good things to say about it, like fast connections and improved coverage for remote areas. Now, we don't know exactly how soon Starlink Internet will be available to the general public, although if you check out their website, you can apply to be part of their beta testing program in the coming months. But in 2021, we're bound to be hearing lots more. And in the long term, Space Internet promises to bring coverage to the most remote locations and bridge the internet divide. Number 4. More travel. Some of us did get to travel in 2020 while others were really stuck at home. But one thing is for sure, the world did a lot less traveling in 2020 than usual, and it wiped out $8 billion of income for the travel industry. And a lot of us are sick of being stuck at home. The good news is it's widely predicted there'll be an upswing in travel in 2021. That's great news for the travel industry and to anyone who likes to travel, which as far as we can tell is pretty much everybody. And it looks like it's going to happen regardless of how the COVID situation pans out. One scenario is the restrictions for air travel are loosened, the airline industry gets back on its feet, and we see an upsurge in flying. But even if that doesn't work out, there are indications travelers are getting more creative with their holiday plans, going for road trips when they can't fly and going for quiet rural destinations when they need to avoid crowded places. And in the long run, that's good news for cities like Venice and Barcelona, which were already at a saturation point with tourists. Some people in the travel industry are already predicting that people will be making up for their years stuck indoors, and that 2021 will be the year of travel. Let's really hope so. Number 5. A huge year for Bitcoin and crypto. For a while now, we've been talking about crypto, in particular Bitcoin, as the future of money. Unlike other currencies, it's decentralized and inflation-proof, and despite what some people still think, it's incredibly secure. In 2020, it's made huge waves. In fact, if you follow Bitcoin or the markets at all, you'll also know it had a successful run in 2017 only to crash at the start of 2018. But it looks fair to say that this run is different. Unlike 2017, institutional investors are now buying it up, which is a big vote of confidence that's bound to shore up its value. And there's talk that as a result of the recession, we could be looking at inflation just around the corner for traditional currencies. If that does happen, Bitcoin is going to be the perfect safe haven, and it's only going to drive prices up further. There's no doubt now that the crypto revolution is underway, and to help you take advantage of this innovation, we've decided to create a step-by-step guide through everything we've learned about Bitcoin and blockchain from scratch. It's called Bitcoin Essentials. Just go to alex.com/Bitcoin. If you want to be part of this new revolution in technology and wealth, this is something you really don't want to miss out on. Number 6. Plant-based meat. From our experience, we know there are a lot of people out there who love getting stuck into a good steak, but deep down just kind of feel wrong doing it, out of concerns for animal welfare, the environment, or both. If that's you, we've got some good news. 2021 looks like it's going to be the year for plant-based meat to take off. McDonald's is introducing the McPlant. That really is a plant-based burger that actually tastes like a burger. And Beyond Meat, a company that's just partnered with Pizza Hut, aims to provide a range of plant-based options, including the Beyond Burger. People who've tried it say it delivers on taste and nutrition too, with 35 to 55% less saturated fats than traditional burgers. We're sure this is something we're going to be seeing a lot more of on menus, and very soon, too. And just maybe the days of enjoying a guilt-free, juicy steak or hamburger aren't that far away. Number 7. Space tourism. After years of testing, are we finally going to get to see Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic get to take off for space tourists? Because that's exactly what they say they're going to do by the end of the year. Of course, most of us will be watching from the sidelines, or to be more exact, from down on Earth. But the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio, Justin Bieber, and another 600 wealthy wannabe space travelers have paid the $250,000 needed to sign up. The plan for its passengers is to go 80 kilometers above the Earth into suborbital flight and experience weightlessness for a few minutes. Let's be a bit cautious about this. Don't be too surprised if there are delays, because plenty of them have happened before. Even if Virgin Galactic doesn't deliver just yet, there are 2 other companies that have their own space tourism plans. Space Adventures, who already sent up tourists twice before, and Axiom Space also has a plan to send up shuttles with tourists that will dock at the International Space Station. And one way or another, 2021 should be an interesting year for space tourism. Number 8. Movies that were postponed in 2020. Here at ALUX, we don't spend a lot of time talking about cinema, but that doesn't mean we don't enjoy putting our feet up and watching a great movie, just like everybody else. And like any year, 2021 has its fair share of releases to look forward to, but we can add to that movies originally scheduled for release in 2020, like F9, that's the latest Fast and Furious movie, Dune, James Bond in No Time to Die, and Black Widow. It looks like we've got a bumper crop of films in store, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens from a film industry point of view with regard to theater releases versus streaming releases, especially with the Bond movie, which its studio, MGM, is seriously banking on. So far, it's been postponed twice, and MGM has resisted offers to sell it for streaming, including one offer from a crowd-funded campaign, and still insist it's going to play in theaters. Will they hold out? Well, whatever happens, it's looking like the test case for the future of how we watch movies, whether the big screen is still going to be a thing or if it's all going to shift to streaming. Either way, 2021 should give us some indications. Number 9. Events that were postponed in 2020. There have been quite a few of these, but probably none bigger than the Tokyo Olympics. The organizers promise it will go ahead in 2020 whatever the COVID situation, and it looks fair enough to believe them. That's because they're now prepared for a whole range of scenarios, meaning they can pull it off with various levels of social distancing as required, something they weren't prepared for in 2020. And for soccer fans out there, the same goes for the UEFA Euro 2020, now planned for June and July of 2021. This event is unprecedented in the tournament's history, and it's set to take place across 12 European countries, and the organizers say one way or another it's going to happen. We're also seeing more music festival organizers planning for 2021 and even confirming lineups and making contingencies for social distancing. And Expo 2021 Dubai, originally planned for 2020, will be showcasing the best in world design. The UAE has spent $8 billion on it, and we're certain when the UAE spends $8 billion on something, it's going to be pretty awesome. Number 10. More opportunities for creating wealth online. At the start of this video, we said we weren't going to have a rant about what a tough year it's been, but let's just admit it, it's been a tough year. For some of us more than others, but we've also learned all kinds of things from it, like how to work from home, entertain ourselves more at home, and basically do everything at home. Sometimes we learned how to do things more efficiently, like how to cover all the bases in an email when you would have normally scheduled a meeting before. Maybe it's made us aware of new opportunities, like starting a side hustle when your main source of income dried up. And maybe we've realized just how much we can do from home over the internet, which we never would have thought of before. And even if we're still going through tough times, the fact is consumerism is at an all-time high. E-commerce is bringing us all kinds of opportunities that weren't there before, and making the most of these opportunities, surely that's something to look forward to. If you're thinking of taking more advantage of this, we recommend you go through Shopify. We've partnered with them for years and highly recommend them for any kind of e-commerce. So why not click on the link and see what they have to offer? So Aluxers, what are you most looking forward to in 2021? Let us know in the comments. We always love hearing from you. And of course, for sticking with us until the end, we've got a bonus for you. A light at the end of the tunnel for the pandemic? Yep, we put a question mark on this one because we really don't want to tempt fate if you believe in that kind of thing. And of course, nobody can really predict how things are going to pan out over the coming months. But with vaccines already coming out and in some countries vaccinations taking place, the thinking from a lot of corners is there's a reason to be optimistic, and maybe, just maybe, we can start to think of things like a proper vacation, going to concerts again, watching movies at the theater, going to malls, the gym, without having to wear a mask. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but we think right now a little cautious optimism isn't out of order. Aluxers, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And remember, nobody can predict exactly what's going to happen with anything, that there are some things that are out of our control. But having said that, the future is, to a large extent, what you make of it. And with that, here at Alux, we wish you the very best in 2021.